welcome to first session of chapter 2, standard 10 social science, cultural heritage of India, traditional handicraft and fine arts. Today in this particular session, the points on which we are going to do the discussions, the points are introduction of the chapter, art of Indian artisans, clay work, art of weaving, and that is hand weaving, and art of embroidery. So let's first begin with the introduction of the chapter. As we know that India is a country of rich cultural heritage, the heritage what we have received from our ancestors and a forefather in a form of literature, Vedas, different form of metallurgy knowledge, that whatever we have discussed in the chapter 5. As this cultural heritage is having other branches too, and whatever heritage we have received from our forefather, they are of three types as mentioned here, and that is genetic heritage, material heritage and cultural heritage. What is genetic heritage? The question can be asked in exam. A child inherits physical and mental characteristics from the parents by birth is known as a genetic heritage. Normally, a human being, when a child takes a birth, he receives certain amount of physical and mental characteristics from their parents. He may having a facial outlook like his father, his mental ability and a way of talking may be resembling his mother, his or her mother. So this way, a child gets lots of characteristics from the parents, and those characteristics can be either physical in nature or even a mental characteristic too. Material heritage, that means wealth and properties what we receive from our forefathers in a form of house, land, estate, money, cash, jewelries. These all can be considered as a material heritage. And the third one is cultural heritage. A man obtains or creates with his intellect and skill is generally called cultural heritage. Over the period of time, with the civilization of a human developed, the people started developing, creating and innovating new things, technology and science. And because of his mental ability and skill, he has developed a very vast heritage. So, whatever man obtains or create with his mental ability, intellect means mental ability, and his developed skill can be called as a cultural heritage. Today, the education of yoga has been considered as a part of cultural heritage, which has been accepted by the whole world. Yes, the mantra or a knowledge of yoga is shared by India to the entire world, and our current Prime Minister Sri Narendra Bhai Modi has given this yoga a universal outlook, and because of his effort only, now the 21st June is celebrated as the World Yoga Day in the entire world, which is going to come soon. The art of Indian artisans. The artisans of India have developed a very intellectual skill and talent in different art forms, and those art forms are weaving, wooden art, drawing and painting, enamel work, architecture, diamond related artistic workmanship, embroidery, clay work, leather industry, sculpture, acrylic work, knitting work, etc. In this particular chapter, today or in upcoming session, we are going to discuss about this different art form in little bit depth. Let's first discuss about the clay work. As we know, man and clay have been closely associated since the ancient time, and even our Vedas and Puranas also said that the human body is also made from the Panch Tattva, and one of that is clay. The whole life of man revolves around it, from the cradle to the grave. जन्म से लेके मरने तक हमारी पूरी लाइफ क्ले और उससे जुड़ी हुई है. Before the invention of the metal, clay things were used abundantly in a routine life. The humans, before invention of the different metals, was using clay in order to create toys, pots, pitcher, earthen lamps, clay, stove, chula were made by the potters to store the grains, milk, ghee, curd and buttermilk. Few examples of the utensils or toys made from the clay I have pasted here. As these were easily available over the period of time, with his intellectual ability and creative thinking, humans have developed a different varieties of clay utensils or toys or different use forms. The walls of the houses, cubas, were plastered by the paste of cow dung and a clay. You might have seen such kind of houses when you visit to a rural area or a remote area. Even in a villages nowadays also, the houses are plastered with the cow dung or a clay, and that keeps the inner temperature of the house very restricted in a harsh conditions also. We have got many clay utensils of red color that belong to the Lothal, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa culture of ancient time, and the utensils found at the time of excavation at the historical sites Lothal, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa gives the proof that the people have developed artistic skill to create the clay utensils since very beginning. Potter's wheel is considered to be the best device for the clay work in ancient India, as with the help of this wheel and the art what the artisans or you can say the potter is having in his finger, they give superbly shapes to the rough clay in a form of very different clay utensils and different use forms. In the present time also we can see the garba, right? That is a pitcher having the holes containing the earthen lamp inside, and these pitchers or garbas are normally used during the Navaratri, as the image is given here. India was famous for producing the baked utensils for baked clay as well as unbaked clay, that is a terracotta, since ancient time. And the examples of such utensils are, that is a red terracotta and a black terracotta. This is known by seeing remains of old and handmade clay utensils found from the Nagarjunakonda in South India and Langhnaj, Mehsana district at the time of different excavation work. Art of weaving. Over the period of time, with his keen interest, the humans started weaving a different clothes and fabrics, and that has developed as a weaving art. The art of making long threads using the small piece of cotton from the cotton balls and joining them together is called art of spinning, right? That means to make a long threads. The question can be asked, what is spinning? So you have to write this one. You might be knowing this one. This is a charkha, right? That was used by Gandhiji. We all know that the Gandhiji has given it a special importance as a cottage industry and joined it with the Swadeshi to make us self-reliant under the banner of freedom movement, which has created a new history. At the time of freedom struggle, the Gandhiji provided the 4 sutra, right? Amongst them, one of that was Swadeshi. That means use the products that has been created and made in India, even at the time of COVID crisis, to make India financially strong and to provide the better job opportunity to the people of India. The Prime Minister also requested to the people of nation to use more such goods and services which are produced and made in India. So history got repeated. Art of hand weaving. Since ancient time, India is known for its textile know-how, right? And it is well known that the whole piece of cloth of a particular size or a taka of fine muslin of Dhaka, that is now in Bangladesh, could easily pass through a ring and could be adjusted in a matchbox. That means the whole big size piece of cloth, big sari type fabric, can easily pass out through a small ring, and even by bundling it, right, you can simply pack that sari or a fabric in a matchbox as given here in a example. So that was very fine cloth, but at the same time very expensive too. Moreover, carpet, galicha of several region, knitting work on attires and different clothes what we wear, artistry, etc. occupied the very dominating place in the Indian art. Amongst them, the patola of Patan, Kanjivaram and Banarasi sari, Bandhani of Rajasthan are very unique identity of India. Such galichas and carpets you might have seen in somebody's house, and the saris are normally very much wear by the women's sections, and these are very expensive too. During the golden period of Solanki era, Gujarat had progressed in this field very uniquely. Even at during the region of Siddharaj Jaisingh, many artisans and the weaver came and settled down in a nearby areas of a Patan. And the patolas of Patan became world famous due to their skill. This art of Patan is more than 850-year old. How much? 850. 850 साल पुराना ये आर्ट है जो उन लोगों ने डेवलप किया था जो सिद्धराज जयसिंह के समय में पाटन और उसके आसपास के एरिया में आकर सेटल हुए, और उनके द्वारा जो आर्ट डेवलप हुआ उसको नाम दिया गया पटोला. Only handful of artisans have the skill for such a complex and time consuming art, as this weaving is performed with the totally manually and with the hand. It takes lots of time. At the same time, it is not as such easy. It is very complex, very unique art, and such expertise can be found in very limited group of people. The silk ware, that means bewed ikt, bewed means to, produce in a pattern is called patola of Patan. Ikt means weaving. So kind of weaving which can be bewed means in a two side. This type of sari is designed in such a manner that it can be worn on the either side. Two side, reversible in a modern time what we say. So it is a sari which is designed in such a manner that it can be worn on a either side, and these type of patola variety had a good durability and its original color always remain intact, and that's why it is expensive and very unique. There is a saying in the same reference, padi patole bhat fate pan fite nahi. That means once the design is embroidered on the patola, right, even it will get torn but it will not get faded. वो फट जाएगा पर उसका कलर लाइट होगा नहीं. And this is one of the cute example of a patola. The design, what do you mean by this particular sentence? Padi patole bhat fate pan fite nahi. The design laid down in the patola shall never fade even if the cloth may be torn. कि कपड़ा फट जाएगा बट उस पर लगा हुआ डिज़ाइन, उसमें किए हुए कलरिंग वर्क कभी फेड होगे नहीं. गुजराती में एक सॉन्ग भी है जब whenever the man used to go outside for the trade or for some work purpose to the different region or a nearby region of a partner, the wife used to demand such kind of patola in a very cute way કે હેલા જી રે મારી હાટુ પાટણથી પટોળા મોંઘલાવજો. Okay, so that was a cute line. Art of embroidery, right? The work of embroidery can be seen on the clothes of the idols and the statues which were found during the excavation of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. That means we can say that this art was very much in a familiar or a use since the very olden days. That means during the Harappa civilization and the Mohenjo-daro civilization. The art of weaving on the clothes of man, women, children is very famous from ancient time. This art of embroidery was seen on the clothes of men and women and children in a Sindh, Saurashtra region, Kutch region at the time of Indus Valley civilization, and that developed since then till the people have and developed this skill, yet it is very much famous in entire India and even in the entire world. Similarly, the Kashmiri kasab. See, these all are normally a embroidery work, but are known with the different word in a different region. So, in a Kashmir, it is called as a kasab work, and it is known as the kasab embroidery, as given here with the golden thread on a black fabric, is done very uniquely in a nice way. In the traditional style of bandhani with all its luster and due to the beautiful design of elephant, puppet, dice and picture is very popular today. These all are a different weaving work which are mostly performed by the hands, and it requires very unique skill, ability and persistence. Cottage industry was taken over by the women of the Kutch and Saurashtra region of Gujarat. Normally, such work of embroidery is mostly performed by the women of the Kutch and Saurashtra region, and by performing such artwork, they earn a good amount of money and help to their family. Now, with the help of modern online shopping, because of the government's support to the cottage industry, such embroidery work is now getting very famous in entire world in a modern era. The traditional art of embroidery, toran, chakda, pillow cover, bed sheets, sak, todalia. Todalia means a hanging which we hang at the entrance of the door. Clothes like kedia, what is normally worn during the time of Navratri, is very well known even today. Some of the example are, this is called todalia, pillow cover, this is a showpiece, bed sheets. These are very much well known and you might be having in your houses too. Embroidery work is also carried out on a quilt and shawls with a different design. Such kind of embroidery clothes like toran, chakda, pillow cover, bed sheets were very much familiar, and in the few years before when the women used to and a girl used to get married, जब लड़के की शादी होती थी और वो ससुराल जाती थी, in our Gujarati or Kathiawadi tradition, they used to take these all goods with them from their parents' house to their sasural. Embroidery work of Jat community of Bani area in Kutch is very unique in itself because of its unique particular art in the field of embroidery.